20 years ago, a film was released that changed fandom forever. This was Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, highly anticipated prequel to the original Star Wars trilogy. We're going to finally see Anakin Skywalker before he was Darth Vader. We were going to see how the legend and the saga began. And yeah, we all know how that turned out, and we all know what everybody thinks about Jar Jar. That being said, I want to reflect upon The Phantom Menace on its 20th anniversary. This was the first Star Wars I saw in theaters, and it was quite an experience. It was packed. I mean, you had people do cosplay of Darth Vader, Darth Maul, have lightsaber matches outside, yeah, with toy lightsabers. And I didn't get to see this until the fourth day. It was that packed. People, before the internet, they were camping out to see this movie. This is a highly anticipated film. And my parents took me on the fourth day to go see the movie, and it was quite an experience. I loved it. I'm one of those rare people that likes both the original and prequel Star Wars trilogies. That being said, now that I'm older, you can see the film definitely has some issues. The digital effects haven't aged as well as the models, and maybe this film had a bit too much Jar Jar. I really like this movie. A lot, actually, and I think it has a certain amount of originality and heart that's missing from the Disney Star Wars films. Yes, that's heresy to some. I still think that. And it has the best lightsaber duel out of any film. I love the Duel of the Fates, Darth Maul. But when this came out, I remember all the merchandise. Got the toys with the chip readers. I remember Taco Bell having those cups. I used to have the Darth Maul cup. KFC had it, Pizza Hut. This was a big deal. I remember getting Padme, Queen Amidala, and Obi-Wan, and they had like certain photographs that belonged to the original characters, so you could see like their younger versions. I first saw the teaser to this on Rugrats the movie, and at first I thought it was a sequel. I'm like, this is cool, it's a follow-up to Star Wars. It's before I had a concept of a prequel, and you know, a prelude prequel is like the first time that a film did that in that type of way, and I love it. I saw the second trailer on CNN, actually. My brother and I watched it. It was a trailer that was on Wing Commander. That was an epic trailer where it's just like the Darth Sidious is there. He's like, wipe them out, all of them. And Obi-Wan's like, no! You just see the explosions. That was an epic trailer. And also, this is a film that was not ignored by changes. You know, Yoda was a puppet and then was later computerized. So they had a few changes. But overall, I like it. I like seeing the Jedi. Qui-Gon Jinn, Liam Neeson's the best part about this movie. Ian McDiarmid, of course, is Chancellor Palpatine, and yeah, he's going to end up being the Emperor. Jake Lloyd, I actually thought did a good job as Anakin. If anything, I think it was George Lucas's failure of making Anakin that young compared to Padme. I think they should have made the characters a little bit older, but I loved his story, how he was able to fix stuff, the stuff with Watto, his mother, Shmi Skywalker. That stuff was sad, and him going on another journey. And a lot of the stuff that's in this is paid off in Revenge of the Sith. And who could forget Darth Maul? Originally supposed to be Benicio del Toro, but they got Ray Park. That's right, Raiden stunt double for Mortal Kombat Annihilation to be the character. And the lightsaber fighting was just on another level. Sure is a little bit kung fu and a little bit kind of flashy, but I like it. You know, it was something different, and George Lucas really took everything he learned from the other films and just went all out with this. And you could tell that technology has progressed. That battle Naboo is awesome. Yeah, it's a Trade Federation with droids. It's not the same effect as Stormtroopers, but I still like it. And who could forget? Now this is pod racing. That pod racing sequence was fantastic. I wish they had some of the deleted scenes though with Darth Maul's stealth droid following Qui-Gon and Anakin. That being said, it is what it is, and it's a good first chapter to this trilogy, you know? I think one thing that kind of takes people off guard is that each film, well, Revenge of the Sith and Attack of the Clones are closer together, but like Phantom Menace to Attack of the Clones, there's a 10-year difference between the movies as far as like the story. And it's kind of different compared to the other two trilogies, but this film came under a lot of scrutiny, but as a child, I loved it. I even had the Darth Maul inflatable chair. This film was amazing. I dressed up as a Jedi Obi-Wan for Halloween. I had the double-bladed lightsaber. Gosh, who knows how much merchandise and books, novels I had. Had all the Jedi Young Apprentice novels, and who could forget the video game? You had Episode 1 Phantom Menace, and then it inspired Jedi Power Battles. Probably one of the best Jedi Star Wars games I've ever played. It's just awesome. Seeing Mace Windu, Samuel Jackson in a small role, he ends up having a larger role. He had a blue lightsaber in this before having a purple one. And overall, I like it. This was a highly anticipated film. A whole bunch of visual dictionaries and stuff came out, and It depends. Star Wars is one of the few series where there's generational shifts of people who grew up with it. So people have different preferences depending on which generation and perspective they have of Star Wars. So I'm right in the middle. I grew up with the original trilogy on VHS, but I love the prequels, and I can't believe it's 20 years. It does feel like 20 years, but yeah, this film gets a lot of flack, and say what you will, but I think the prequels are far better than the new films. That's going to be heresy to some. I'm going to get a thumbs down, I know it, but you know what? I just feel that way. But say what you will. You can enjoy what you want to enjoy, but I think this film gets a little bit too much flack. It's not like the originals, but you know what? This film doesn't really damage the originals the way the other movies do. You know, like, I know it may damage people's perception of who they thought Anakin Skywalker was going to be or how the story was going to unfold, because he has so many years of, like, creating your own story in your head, but it never once negated the actions of the original trilogy, and I think that is the ultimate failure of the new Star Wars films, is that it pretty much made the original trilogy meaningless. Where this, it's not up to the quality of the originals. Nothing will be, to be honest, but it didn't do anything to harm it. This is a self-contained trilogy here, and this is a great start. Every legend has a beginning. Every saga has a beginning, and this was glorious, all the way down to John Williams' score. And it's crazy with them in Tunisia and like a storm blasting the set the way it did in A New Hope. Overall, you could tell George Lucas made some modifications of his overall space opera, but this film gets a bad rap, and it's better than what most people remember. Now, if you're going to be really nitpicky, stick with the originals, but if you enjoy Star Wars for what it is, check this out on this 20th anniversary. It may surprise you, may bring back nostalgia and memories, and yeah, there's always a bigger fish. I just love the world and everything, and this film, look at Gungan City, and you can see the influence it had on Aquaman and other science fiction films. I look at other sci-fi films and the prequels and Phantom Menace, you could tell its influence and how it shaped the future sci-fi films and the genre, so yeah, those are my thoughts on the Phantom Menace real quickly on this 20th anniversary. Time flies. Feel free down in the comments below. Let me know your memories of Phantom Menace. Did you absolutely hate it? Did you love it? Was this your first Star Wars film? Let me know. I still have the VHS. I have the Blu-ray. Yeah, this is a great film. And yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Remember to check out these Star Wars videos. I have a Phantom Menace review as well as some other stuff. Till next time.